do, 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 do. Gonna go in the Discord. Talk, tick, talk, ding, talk, ding. I'm talking.
Google Chrome, I don't ever want to use you.
We only use you when we're forced to, yeah. Oh, I have a prescription ready.
Hey, we just got a new follower.
Yay, hello new follower.
Oh man, I don't know if I know how to say the name. B. Lil Matthew Elf?
But let Matthew Elf, it's Beth. Beth.
Oh, I'm glad you know how to pronounce that. How did you say that?
Belil Matthew Elf. It's a name that I think we found through the Elvish name generator some time ago. I don't remember when, but that I think was her Lord of the Rings Elvish name. Like when you typed your name into the translator.
All right, I got the camera working now for some reason. It decided right now
Now it
that
works.
it worked just fine. It's nice of it to join in. I know it'll be a few minutes before we get a room full of folks.
True dat.
Thanks for those that have come and are hanging out. Oh.
Ooh, Doji did a big pounce on a scrap of fabric over there. Big pounce.
Oh no.
What? Oh no. What happened?
The camera's locked.
Yay!
This one is not mapped to a button yet, though.
I just thought of another good idea for a sketch for the show.
Yeah, what's that?
So, you know, like word problems in math, like you always have to do like if Jeremy has 10 apples and Courtney has 14 bananas. How many more bananas does Courtney have than Jeremy has apples or whatever, you know?
Are you gonna make a math joke?
I am going to make a math joke, you know, like everyone likes to do. Everyone loves math jokes and understands them and isn't angry by them at all.
Nope. That's what I've always said was, man, you know what I love in my comedy?
Math jokes?
Work.
Yes. Remember how Fred Armisen did that special that was like stand up just for drummers? It's going to be like that. Stand up for other people who think math jokes are funny. So the setup is like the real closet champions were the friends we made along the way. Jeff Stormer. Jeff is here, everybody. So the pitch is, the idea is it's word problems, right? But the word problems are like, if Jeremy's a graphic designer living in New York, and he went to school for a 4-year degree, how many years is it going to take for him to pay off his student loans? Like,
What is okay? All right, so cool. Where's the joke?
the joke is that the word problems will come. It's like, oh, it's a modern textbook to deal with like modern word.
Okay, I got
word
you.
Problems.
I was looking for something else. I got you.
So the modern problems are just like, Nina has 3 jobs.
Will she be able to pay rent this month?
Getting an echo on the Ophidian thumb cam, it's because the iPhone has sound on it.
Yeah, we've got to figure it off. I'm all right with thumb cam though. I can.
Thumb cam.
Should I raise it up a little bit? What do you think?
Raise me up.
Well, the end of the table is not on camera. It's about right there. I can raise it up just a little bit. Whoa.
Hey, Shark's here. Oh, look at all the friendships.
Whoa, what happened?
Whoa, what happened?
Yeah, good question. Yeah.
Did you accidentally like brush the
I must have.
as you?
Yeah, as I was lifting it.
Goth cam.
Little crooked, but I can fix that. That's easy. We're essentially permanently setting up cameras. When I say permanently, the cameras may come up and down, but the holders for them,
Where did you
the
find
clamps,
that thing?
in the bag with the rest of the camera stuff.
In the camera bag?
No, in the bag, the big bag that had all the camera stuff we were using from the old house.
Like the tripod and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Where it should have been.
I could not find it the other day. I looked in that bag.
I mean, it's not like it was right on top. I had
Okay.
to dig through the bag.
Okay. I didn't want to just empty everything onto the ground, so I should have. I realize now.
That's pretty much what I did. If you went into the room while I was cleaning it out, going through the closet, I just threw everything into the main room. All right, so let's see who else is in this room. Now that I can see the chat. Welcome, Carl Robinson, and of course Jeff Stormer. Dude, I'm a shark. Plin the ski, or no, pin, not Plin. That's an I.
Do you want to switch over to my cam?
The camera should be... Oh, right, yeah, no. It's not. It is on the new table. Okay.
I'm working on stripes.
We're not going to be on long today. Today's just kind of making sure that the cameras don't freeze as we switch between them. We were running into that issue during the Lullaby Lounge last season, and where we were using two iPhones and the OBS. As we switched between them in OBS, one of the cameras would freeze every once in a while. So we're going to do some camera switches here now while we're not really working on anything important or recording, and see if the same thing happens.
Of course, if any of you are streamers in the audience.
Well, at this point, we're already there, except for days and streaming. I mean, obviously, what always helps is sharing the stream, you know, on Twitter or hosting it on your channel, things like that. But we've hit all the other requirements. The last one just being the amount of days in a week that you have or the days that you have streamed in a month.
Yeah. We've hit everything else.
Yeah.
We've got the technology.
And after today, unless I don't know, something goes horribly wrong, we should be affiliate after the stream is done in about an hour. Alright, so I'm adding a new button for the new camera.
Okay.
And then we're going to do some back and forth camera switches. What should I name that camera? I'm going to ask you guys in the stream. We've got a new camera. I'll switch to the angle for a moment. This table, got to be slightly adjusted. It's a little crooked, but I'll fix that in a moment. What should we call this camera? Reaction, thanks for joining us. Good deep cut, dude, I'm a shark. I always love a Dudley's reference, pin the ski. Dude, I'm a shark, drop the hardwood rich mahogany reference.
Steve,
No gimmicks needed, Steve the Samurai.
I always get it wrong.
You were close. You had all the right words.
No gimmicks needed. Steve the Samurai is my favorite one. It just says everything you need to know. No gimmicks need that list, and no gimmicks needed. Steve the Samurai have what inspired me to create my wrestling company, Perfectly Adequate Wrestling. PAW. Sugar Dunkerton came up with our tagline, maybe a 2-star match in the bunch.
So far, all good. The problem is that to hit the button, I gotta come over here.
Yeah,
And
we
then
gotta
go-
get a extender for the Stream Deck.
Again, go do the thing. So far, not freezing.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it on the new computer we were dealing with the freezing?
Yeah.
What is it about the older computer that is
It's allowing all these cameras to run.
allowing all the stuff to run?
Well, I did change the settings on the OBS app inside of the iPhone 12.
Inside of this?
Yeah.
Oh, so like maybe there was an additional
I
thing.
turned down like the settings that require the things. I turned them down. I don't remember what they're called off the top of my head, but the thing that was like 20.
Technology. Beep,
Yeah.
boop, beep, boop.
I did a lot of that.
I understand.
I also made sure to not be streaming in 4K on that camera because we don't need to. We can't actually. It's not going to be distributed on Twitch in 4K, so there was no point in that being high quality if that's not the way it's going to hit the stream.
What's the bottom of this? Oh, right.
No freezing so far.
Back.
Try this one. Oh, look, I can see me on your iPad.
From the past.
Yeah, I can see past me. Cool. So we said that in this hour, so that we'll spend on stream testing and stuff.
Testing.
Yeah, doing big testing.
Testing.
We would answer questions. We will
did.
happily answer anything that anybody drops in the chat. It doesn't have to be Closet Champion related. It could be whatever you guys want.
It could be whatever related.
Yeah, let's hang out.
We are chillaxing.
Yeah.
That is what the frog and the goblin do.
Let's see. Yeah, so far, I mean, there is it's so silly. There's such a noticeable quality, like camera quality difference between
To the two phones.
all the devices. The DSLR, the iPhone 7, and the iPhone 12. They are all three very different. The camera that is pointing on top of our main sewing table, the one that Kate is on right now, that one is an iPhone 12 Pro or Max or whatever they're called, like whatever the high-end iPhone is called, 12 Max, I think. This camera is a Canon 60D DSLR. We got a few years back. I would say we picked this up, what, like 2016,
It was
2017?
right when we started Patreon, so yeah, like
Yeah.
2016 or 2015.
And computer. And then this camera is an iPhone 7. We have not traded in our old phones. We'll keep them when we upgrade so that we can use them since, you know, we did pay for them. There's no point in trading it in when we can use it for stuff like this.
True dat.
I'm going to walk back in front of this. The image is not freezing. It's not locked. I do have to change this light, though. It is too bright in this table. It's messing with the what do you call it? The white balance on the phone. I'm going to move this up here, maybe. And then bounce it off the wall. That looks more like the natural color it should be. It's a little dark though because of that. We get a big shadow on us.
That's how Ophidian used to be, but then we started using them for content creation, and now like he uses his broken, beat up phone, even though this phone above me is like his upgrade. He uses the phone. He kept the old phone and uses the old broken phone, and we use the upgraded one as a camera.
Yeah. I don't mind being inconvenienced with a cracked screen and such on my old phone. Because it's not really an inconvenience. The phone works just fine. And I can deal with a cracked screen. We do have to not so much figure out the light situation, but I don't like the shadows being cast over top of the table.
I think the answer is just that we're going to have to put lights like all over this room because it eats light like crazy.
Well, if it reflected off the wall like I wanted it to.
It's not a very reflective wall.
I know it's not. It's a cement or cinder block, whatever wall, painted white.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm. For me or for the...
For you.
Okay.
What's it like being the cutest?
What?
I said, hey, what's it like being
I'm
the cutest?
aghast of your question.
Well,
I
I said, hey, you.
taken back.
What's it like being the cutest?
I mean, like the bean, it's a hard life.
I understand.
Yeah, you know. I don't know if I'd consider myself the cute one on the team.
Oh, no, you're pretty cute.
I feel like you hold that distinction, but I guess that can be argued.
It's relative. Just you and me. And dude, I'm a shark. Got nothing to do. Nothing to prove. It's just you and me. And dude, I'm a shark. And I don't know why.
The camera sees you. You're okay. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry for the yawn there.
Shark. Wow.
Slightly out of focus. Slightly out of focus. I don't know why.
What? This guy?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it to...
Are you sure it's actually out of focus, or is it just blurry because it's old?
It shouldn't be that blurry. It should be able to... no, move your hand. Bring it down lower for me so I can see the spray. I know it's not going to get it perfectly, but... That's still adjusting. You know, like, it will do the focus switch, for sure. I think what I may end up doing is switching the camera this way, so I can bring it down a little bit more,
Makes
just
sense.
so it's a little closer to the table.
Yeah. Why don't you do it?
I think I might.
I think you can. I'm gonna go on a ride.
Oh no, I didn't mean to hit the reset button.
It looks fine to me too, Shark. It's not just you.
It's also, part of it is because we're going to use live stream video to cut up for the Closet Champion tutorials on the YouTube channel. So, I want the three cameras to look as close to uniform as possible when I color correct and quality. Like, I know it's going to be impossible to get them all to match the iPhone 12, given that the iPhone 12 is leaps and bounds better than an iPhone 7 as far as quality goes for camera quality. But I can at least light the room in a way that will make my life easier later.
Do you want to bring down the umbrella? Just to add it to the mix, see what happens.
I don't mind this. Then it makes this part of the room dark. Oh wait, I can turn on that light over there. Let me just turn on every light in the room.
Every light.
Here, I'm gonna put it back on.
Well, that looks super dim.
Yeah. I think it also affects you as well, me changing that light.
Oh, I have no doubt, yeah. Because then all this light's gone.
This is why we are streaming today and testing this and not waiting till Thursday. Or to Wednesday, I mean.
Hello, Blooms in the Night. Welcome.
Oh, there's a new OBS update because I'm on the Discord for OBS. I saw there's a new update with some new features.
What are the new features?
I haven't had a chance to read them yet.
Oh, secret features.
I'm saying this out loud so I remember to update this one down here.
Pretty much, Shark. I think it actually stands for Open Broadcast Software.
I am going to start a petition to rename it what Dude I Am Shark just called it.
I agree. I would sign your petition. So, a couple days ago, Ophidian and I went to my hometown, which is where, if you are friends with me on Facebook or if you're in the Facebook group, you might have seen the picture of me with Egg. That's where that picture's from. But we were in my hometown, and there's like, my hometown was pretty, it's like a very small town. Like, Ophidian can attest. Main Street was like a block of streets. There was not really much to see.
Not much to see at all.
Um,
I'm going to go grab something to drink. I'll be right back in a second.
We went into this antique shop, like antique thrift, like vintagey store, and they had an old typewriter, and they actually had two old typewriters, and one was this perfect Underwood typewriter that is just like, when you think of what a typewriter looks like, that is what this looked like. And it's gorgeous. And of course that one's not for sale. But even though I was nervous and scared about how the interaction would go, because it's a person in Lidditz, Pennsylvania, and Lidditz is pretty conservative, I was like, I know your typewriter is not for sale, but can I rent it from you to do a music video or film with? And the shop owner was like, of course, here's my phone number. So it just goes to show that even when you can't buy the cool typewriter, you can always ask the nice lady if you can rent it. I'm excited to use it for things.
I was surprised that she said yes, not because, you know, it was some like super secret, yeah.
But because
she was immediately like, oh, that one's not for sale. You know, like the idea that like that one clearly like.
Well, I think it's because I very much was like, I like this thing and I will protect it. I'm not here to fuck up your typewriter. I would give you a deposit or something. Can I rent your typewriter? I would not steal it. I believe the antique finding code. She found that Underwood typewriter fair and square, and who am I to take it from her, should she not want it?
Yeah, but then we can rent it fair and square, which means that then it's ours, and by law...
Oh, our backdrop stand got here.
By law, 9/10 of possession, stealing. That's the way the phrase goes.
Did everybody catch that?
That's
Everybody get that one? Did everybody get that? If 9/10 of possession, stealing,
Yeah.
everyone knows. Everyone knows. So many stripes. Okay. Anybody else listen to P-Lander Z? I have so many mics stuck in my head. Honestly, there's rarely a day that goes by that I don't have so many mics stuck in my head. You are Mike.
Camera's on the table, right?
Mike. You are Mike.
So many mics. So many mic. Ah, 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 ow.
Don't confuse me.
You are Mike. You are Mike. You are Mike.
So many Joe.
No, I think that's the best thing about P-Lander Z.
That song?
No, just the way they write songs, like taco, 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 taco. You know, like, or the song about glasses.
Song about glasses?
Yeah.
Or cool T-shirt. There's one that's like, I like your T-shirt.
Yeah. That is, yeah.
Nice T-shirt. I
Yeah.
think is that
Nice
called?
tea. So we did get the backdrop. There's also the bed frame that was supposed to be here Wednesday. Showed up today, which is fine. But I like things showing up early, but you also got that email earlier today saying that,
All the actual backdrops will not be here.
yeah, it won't be here until later in the week. Oh no, now we have to actually clean the other side of the room.
I mean, it's not going to be that bad.
No, but it's a thing that we can't put off anymore. Did this come with the same, the other one come with the same bag as this? Doing the camera switch again. Quick test here. Working just fine. It is not freezing. We still have yet to have a single freeze.
Nice.
Wow, I don't know why you're so tight. Yep, no camera freeze. I guess when we're off stream tonight, before I mow the lawn, or after we'll move all the stuff out the way. Really, it just needs to be stacked up properly. It can stay back here because we don't need it to go all the way back up against the wall. Guess that does mean we have to move the sewing machine to an appropriate spot. The new old one.
Yes.
So we got a backdrop, a second backdrop for the sewing room so that we can have something permanently set up for photos of the gear that we're doing. We can set up a permanent backdrop to actually, shoot nice quality photos of the stuff that we make. And also have a second space to shoot content if we need to for Lullaby Lounge stuff. Yeah, we got more of those clamps. This time, though, babe, they're all black.
We do have a riding mower. And yes, we do plan to use it for crime.
We already have ideas.
We already have crime ideas. Speaking
Yeah.
of crime, crime boy.
He wants food. He was meowing at the
Yeah,
piano.
big old crime baby.
Also, there's boxes down here.
You should show them a boy doing crime.
I can switch it. Did you buy the same one?
Yes.
It's not the same one.
Oh.
I mean, it's the same type of setup. It's the same assembly,
Mm-hmm.
but these parts are all different.
Different.
You know, like either, I don't know if it's an upgrade or a downgrade, but it's definitely different.
Let me focus on you, buddy. Can you look at the camera again?
Oh, wow. You're pretty bad at the focusing.
Sorry, I was having trouble holding the camera. There we go. Yeah. Oh, well, now he's leaving. Of course.
I'll switch it back to your table.
Well, now he's back at the box.
A backdrop of somebody doing a backdrop would be a pretty great backdrop.
We would never take that from you, dude. I'm a shark. I hope you live forever with that knowledge in your mind. So he said he's imagining you riding the mask on the lawnmower.
Yeah, I'm here for it. There will be footage, I'm sure, eventually of me doing so.
Absolutely.
I think the other crimes must be committed first, though.
100%.
Yeah, this one came with washers and stuff, and the one upstairs did not.
I definitely ordered the same exact thing.
I believe you. That's why I had to double check because I think this one is nicer.
Well,
I think.
I'm not going to complain. The ruler has balls. Oh, I've used this ruler my whole life, and I have not seen how it looked like a dick until just now, Shark.
Thanks, Shark.
It's called a French curve.
And Gyarados, who's over here often, is a very...
It's a super horny person.
Yeah.
So,
And she's never pointed it out either.
yeah.
Surprisingly.
That's honestly surprising.
Yeah. What are these? These must be for sandbags. Yeah, these are sandbags. We got to get more rock. Can you just order a bunch of those ones that we have upstairs on Amazon?
I got those at the dollar store.
We can get them from the dollar store again. I don't know, however, where I put the poles at just now.
The poles that you just opened?
Yeah. Right? How could they have disappeared so quickly?
This house is too big for us. We're so confused.
Oh, I found them.
Yay! Hello, 041 AK.
Yes, hello, 041 AK.
I feel like I just woke up a sleeper cell.
You know, today was a good day. You know how I know that?
You didn't have to use your AK?
I did not have to use my AK. Specifically,
Your 041
my
AK?
041 AK.
Nice.
I'm encroaching.
You are encroaching. I noticed that you were encroaching. Even the bean noticed you were encroaching. Bean, do you want to get on the table to do friendship? You're being very respectful sitting on the ground.
We're almost, we've almost got the space where we want it. We're not there fully.
The tube rods are the top of the backdrop stand. It's like a thing that you clip backdrops to, like
Yeah.
I have for the Lullaby Lounge, that we have in the studio. We got what I thought was the same thing, but is a much nicer backdrop. And longer?
I would say that it's about the same length.
Okay.
It is definitely longer because the one upstairs, I don't feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it is a lot longer. I'll see once it's fully set up.
But we got a hi, Henry Higgins.
Oh, I know, because upstairs I don't have all 4 rods plugged in.
Oh, we don't?
No.
Okay.
Because just the
It
was
space,
too long,
it's
yeah.
impossible.
Yeah, I remember now.
I was thinking that maybe we just didn't have the rods.
Yeah, like we don't need it to be this long for us down here.
No, we could lose a rod.
Yeah.
One of the middle boys.
Yeah.
But other than that we were working on, I am currently making, I don't know if the image is still in the...
It is. It's just turned off.
This? Yeah. I am working on a pattern for the hoodie in that design. I made the tights pattern on last stream, and now I'm working on the hoodie.
Yeah, this is more appropriate.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that it goes that long, though.
Mm-hmm.
So there's another box outside I have to drag in real quick.
Okay.
I came down here so excited to open this up that I forgot that the other
bring
box.
the bed frame in?
They didn't leave it at the door. They left it by the mailbox. And look, I can't be too mad. It's a heavy box. But it might.
Hey, Lucha Freddy! I didn't even see you in the chat. Hello. I have to do the point on this next. That's what I'm doing. First I have to measure this. It's going to be interesting.
So Stellar, Steven, our website's closetchampion.com. The thing about rates, though, is that every piece that we make is a different price because we don't make stock. Like, we don't have a stock set of items.
No, we basically...
It's all custom.
You give us an idea, and then we try to make it a reality.
So, contacting us for pricing is the best way to go. But, yeah.
Right now, we will say, the list is quite full. If you do not get a response with the quickness, do not be surprised, because
we are currently, especially with things opening back up, performers are ordering gear for all the shows that are now being announced.
Mm-hmm. So right now we have commissions that are up until basically October right now.
What did Shark call OBS?
Opoly boppily sloppily?
Yes, we have commissions pouring out of our opoly boppily sloppily. Just pouring right out of it.
Pouring it right out of the bop, as they say.
Yep.
The bean is following you. He thinks you're going to give him snack. Yeah, people are already having shows here, Freddie, which I have, given that I have a family member who recently passed of COVID, I have some feelings about people who say they're super supportive of us and then they go with the shows. So, I got my feelings about the politicization of the health whatnots. But America doesn't give a shit about whether or not people are well. They're just like, if you don't keep making money, you're not going to have a life. So things are opening back up here.
Whew. This thing is fucking heavy.
And 5, 8. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And 5/8. Okay.
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 In the house.
In the house.
We don't have any backdrop. No, because the backdrops haven't come in yet. Well, I'm going to bring down one from up the studio.
You could do the blue screen.
I could.
Blue screen's in here.
No, the blue.
Or one of them's in here.
The 20-foot one, right?
I don't know what noises you might have heard. Or where they could have come from. Maybe my earring hit the thing or something. Yes, there is a bed being moved in from outside. $18 and 5/8, so. Okay.
I like these black ones better. Them not having the orange tips means that they don't accidentally get caught on camera.
Oh, yeah. We should totally use those upstairs.
Yeah. I'll swap them out later. Since we're not really recording in that room at the moment.
Yeah. Not for a bit. Are custom kick pads more affordable than boots? I have no idea. How much are boots?
On average, for like a good pair of custom pro wrestling boots that are plain, that are
Like
just
a couple
like
$100, right?
shiny black plain, yeah, usually run around 250.
250?
Yeah, generally speaking, depending on the maker.
Then it depends on how complicated the kick pads are, but I would say on average, yes, they would probably be less expensive than boots. But it depends on what kind of worker you are. If you're not throwing kicks, it's kind of stupid for you to wear kick pads. So I think it's more about what serves your character and if you can make economical choices that serve that character.
My wife has never thrown a kick in professional wrestling, but she speaks the truth.
That's not true. I might have kicked you. Didn't I kick you in a match?
I might have kicked you. You've definitely kicked me at some point in our lives.
I've taken an enziguri kick. I think that counts.
I didn't say you don't know what you're talking about. I'm agreeing. That is a correct statement. But you said it with such ferocity, like the way a martial artist would tell a professional wrestler wearing kick pads when they don't throw kicks.
Well, I care about context, continuity, etc.
Etc., etc.
Freddie says that he doesn't kick, but he likes the look of kick pads.
I do too. I mean,
Well, you did fucking tons of kicks.
Yeah.
You were like made of legs, Snake. A snake made of legs.
I'm a snake made of other snakes who are made of other legs. Hooray. Hooray. We have a blue screen, soon to be green, in our studio now, in our sewing studio.
Ophidian started in boots with lifts, but he was too bendy and lithe, so he had to switch to athletic shoes. You can't like slip around the doodad or whatever when you're...
I do like the look of boxing boots. The boxer boots are like 3/4 boots, and they're really nice. Rip Rogers is he's got some good things to say, but generally speaking, he's out of touch with the modern scene. There's value to when an old man of his stature speaks, but a lot of what he has to say no longer applies to the modern generation.
I think that can be said for a lot of old heads.
Well, you know, like there are some old heads that are so active in the scene, and you're like, you updated your look, you updated your attitude, you know, to stay current, so that you're still viable and useful to the scene. In the ways, you know, progress. And I don't mean somebody that's like, I'm a 20-year veteran. When you're Rip Rogers, who is a guy that's what, in his 80s or 90s. He's up there in age. I don't remember how old exactly, but he's definitely like up there. Maybe not 90s. That's a bit much.
We recently watched Army of the Dead 041AK, and I gotta say, I didn't know how little I didn't know how little Zack Snyder understood the subtext of his own films. It was a very Garth Marenghi experience watching The Featurette. Because I'm like the kind of person that basically the reason I watch a movie is like, okay, what techniques can I steal from this in order to make my own content or work? And with Army of the Dead, it was just like, here's an example of what happens when you just don't get it, and also you got a ton of money.
The quick jump on Freddie's question. I think everybody should have some sort of protective something on their wrist. Depends on what you do. I couldn't wear specific types of bracelets and stuff on my wrist because I did handstands while I was performing, and they would get in the way of the flexibility of my wrist. But I still always wore something there to add some extra strength to it. It's so easy to. That's one of the easiest joints to break. You know, like your wrist and your ankles tend to go a lot quicker than a lot of other things. It's like having anything on it to protect it, I think, is good.
There was a thing that I saw going around Twitter a couple days ago, maybe, that was like, this is how the wrist bone works. Doesn't it make you angry? And like, your wrist bones are straight when they're this way, but then when you twist your wrist like this, the bones cross over like an X.
Why?
Exactly.
I mean, I get you need that flexibility.
But like,
I understand
so
it.
like, this is straight, and then this bone crosses over that one and makes an X, and that's why there's like that. Because the bone crosses over. Why?
I think that's a forearm though, and not a wrist.
But it leads
because
into
it
the
leads
same...
into the wrist. I got you. I want to watch Spiral. I was debating whether or not we rented it or we waited till it came out. You know, like just that on Netflix or Amazon or something. But I've watched every Saw movie except for the last one that they released. The one right before this. I did not watch that one yet. Oh man, my favorite is a super oily forearm and hand when you're trying to go for an Irish whip. And it's happened to, I think, every performer at least once, where you completely lose grip because of the oil. Yeah, I did not see Jigsaw. I wanted to, I just haven't yet. Gonna do a camera switch.
Oh.
No freeze yet. No freezing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No freezing. I think it's going to work just fine down here. There's been zero freezing on any of the cameras. Willy's Wonderland was a great, like, C-grade movie. It's definitely, you can tell watching it, it's low budget, but they knew how to spend their budget. Like, it being all in one location, the villains, you know, whatever, the animatronics, looking the way they do is acceptable because that is what you would get at a Chuck E. Cheese. Like, it's a perfect mix of they chose the right story, the right plot, the right elements to fit within their budget. It was great. It was a ton of fun to watch. And Nick Cage, I mean. God, I would love to see Nick Cage act in a movie like that too.
Yeah, incredible, honestly.
The failed Irish whip can be a nightmare. Well, before I answer that question, you might have seen me, Stellar Steven, in Richmond, VA. I have wrestled there maybe twice, 3 times. Actually, no, more than that. I've wrestled there maybe 4 or 5 from the beginning of my career to the end, with various companies. But you definitely could have caught me there. Chikari did some big shows there. I have worked with a lot of foreign talent. Some really good foreign talent, both in their countries of origin and over here in the States. One of my favorites within the last few years was Puma King, who is insanely good. The man is just a great base and has a lot of cool ideas. His brain works awesome for pro wrestling. I loved working Eddie Dennis, who is part of NXT UK now. One of my favorite matches of my career was against Eddie Dennis at Attack in Wales. Puma King being from Mexico. I loved working with a lot of the Canadian talent I've got the chance to work with at Lucha TO. Surprisingly, Lucha Freddy being in here, I've never actually got the chance to work Lucha Freddy, despite us being on many shows together throughout the years. But I enjoyed very much working with Carter Mason, the King of the North in Canada. And out of Japan, Hidaka being one of, I got to work him early in my career, who's a lucha libre, and Japanese legend, or lightweight legend. I got to wrestle him and Miru Nusawa for the NWA, light heavyweight tag team championships. I did get to work with Lionheart in a 6-way, but never. I've wrestled Lionheart twice in 2 different 6-ways, but never a singles match. Both were with PCW, Preston City Wrestling. I think, that match in Fargo, in Fargo was a lot of fun. It was a 6-way for who was the champion in that match? Drawing a blank off the top of my head. It's a guy that I like. So it'll come back to me in a moment. But that 6-way was a ton of fun. I was really banged up going to that match. Yeah. Oregon is great. I had a really bad hip injury, just that I injured it at the show right before. And everybody in that match did a great job at making sure that I didn't look like I was dealing with a bad hip injury. Still took a finish off the top rope. Still took Orion's finish off the top, even though my hip was killing me. His finish is great too. He's essentially it's a version of the mother effing bomb off the top rope.
I'm debating if I take a break or if I.
Well, I'd say we're streaming for about another 10 minutes, so.
There's not really much I can draft in the next 10 minutes. I guess I can start the kick pads. Start the process.
Dude, I'm a shark. What part of the country are you based out of?
I think we've sent so much stuff to your house, but I never remember your address.
Yeah. Oh man, Walter. I loved being in Sweden and Denmark. One, open face sandwiches, great. I feel like when hanging out with the guys in Denmark, and I was like, give me Danish food, they were like, open face sandwiches, I think are the only authentically Danish thing that we can give you in this area. And I was like, that sounds crazy. But I really loved performing at that venue in Copenhagen. It was a lot of fun. I spent maybe 5 days 4 days, not 5, 4 in Aalborg. I don't know how to say it correctly. It's AA. All right. I was in Denmark. I have to look up the name of that city again. Yeah, Aalborg, Aalborg, Denmark. I spent about 4 or 5 days there because that's where the wrestling school I taught at. Did a camp there, and that was such a blast. The weirdest thing about being in Denmark and Sweden is that I was almost always the smallest person in the room when teaching or at on the shows.
If you're gonna be telling stories, you should put the camera on you.
I'm about to move again. That's why.
Oh, okay.
I was packing up the stuff while I was moving. I was moving around and we were talking. What was I just at? I was always the smallest person, and that training camp had maybe like 2 16-year-olds or so in it. People that are definitely under the age of 18 that hadn't debuted yet but were still training, and even they were bigger than me. I was always the tiniest man. It made teaching lucha also a little difficult, because everybody towered over me. In Sweden, I wrestled El Stigalis, who is a lot of fun to wrestle. I liked working with that crew. Sid, and that was in Malmo. In Denmark, it was with Body Slam, and Body Slam's who I spent the most time with. I've been over for them twice now. I wrestled Freddie Ahai, and the only match I've had in Denmark. The other times I was over were for training camps. But I had a blast with them. I really liked being in that area, in Copenhagen and Malmo. They're beautiful cities. It was a ton of fun to hang out. We got to go out kind of in the nightlife and I can't say party because it's not the right term, but we actually got to hang out and go do things. And they took me to this one place that they referred to. This is, and me using their language, I don't know the correct terminology here, but they kept referring to as a gypsy camp settlement inside the city, where it was, it had its own rules and laws separate from Copenhagen.
I think this is one of the only times when you actually can say gypsy.
Yeah, because
I think it actually was
I think
gypsies,
it was generally,
right?
yeah. But it's maybe a mile long, I'm guessing, or so, but they sold all kinds of drugs in it. And you could buy weed and stuff in a place like that. Not to get deep into that, but it's also a place that was open all night long. And you can go hang out there for like food trucks and beer, and there was always music playing. So like after the shows, we hung out there. Like the whole crew went there. We all got food, and we're able to kind of hang out and drink all night. But that's what I remember the most about it was like all the things that you couldn't do in Denmark, I guess, or Copenhagen, you could buy or do inside of that settlement because it had its own separate rules and laws.
Is gear making becoming more available than it has ever been? I mean, I think all types of making is just becoming more in fashion as materials get easier to buy and everything ships everywhere. And I mean, because I was taught how to sew in the 90s, our employee, intern, whatever you want to call her, Gyarados, like, she knows all sorts of stuff about modern sewing equipment that I don't know because I have been using the stuff from the 90s. So she's like, oh yeah, I got these scissors from whatever, and my mind is completely blown. So it's not just like gear making specifically. I think there's resources for all kinds of making in ways that there haven't been before. And I think that wrestlers are just becoming more aware of how much value they have to provide themselves in the industry in order to actually be a person that matters to it long term.
I think part of what happens with gear making is the same thing that happens with professional wrestling, is that there is a major turnover. Obviously, you don't get gear makers at the same rate as you do wrestlers, but there is a major turnover in a gear maker, and that they make a set of gear. Their friend, the person that they make it for, tell their friends about it, and then they tell their friends about it, and then gear maker in a year from now is completely overwhelmed with requests and can't keep up because there are so few of us within the wrestling industry that they just quit and they're like, I don't want to do this. I'm not making enough money to justify the level of stress.
Yeah, because people who sew normally make a lot more money than gear makers do. So if you come from another industry of sewing, it's kind of a shock how much work it takes and how little money you make.
Yeah, gear making is not a lucrative business.
It's not.
We are attempting to make it more so by becoming a resource
Yes.
within the industry.
But we
Like-
couldn't survive on gear making alone.
If we, we could if we wanted to make a lot more stuff
That we didn't
than
like
we're
as
making
much.
that we didn't want to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're not those type of people, though.
Yeah. We want to make stuff that we want to make. Like, we can fill our calendars with stuff we don't believe in making, or like projects that we would not have fun making.
Or take all these orders from these young kids in the business who are getting their first set of gear and are trying to just start out, and we're like, it's not necessarily smart for you to invest in a giant set of gear for your not even debut match for you to go train in. No, we're not going to make you this set. We could probably take advantage of those people and make money, but
Just noticed that
Yeah.
33 and 34 isn't. Did I miss something on that, Henry?
I don't know what he's talking about either.
Oh, it's not a circle, it's a rubber band.
Oh, okay. He's
It's a
talking about
rubber
what you're
band that's
doing over there.
moving.
Dude, I'm a shark. One of my biggest disappointments in my career was never wrestling at the Gathering of Juggalos.
I tried to make it happen. I tried.
I would love to have. Like, that's just one. Not that it's not
As the
because there's-
Juggalo princess,
Yeah,
I
it's just-
tried.
I wanted to just once. There's so many crazy stories and such cool life experiences that happen at an event like that on the wrestler side when you're behind the scenes. Everybody speaks so well of Violent J, who I did meet. I met him at a Chikara show. Violent J.
We don't make plain black gear anymore, Stellar Steven. We refuse.
Even for the Crucible angle, like, we clothed everybody except for one in that Crucible angle. We just told them to order basic stuff from High Spots, because you can get a pair of black trunks from High Spots
Yeah,
for cheaper than what we're going to make it. And
Just
we
do
don't
it,
have to
bud.
make it.
exactly.
But we made their other stuff, just did not want to deal with making just a basic set of black trunks.
We make the weird stuff.
The only times we've made, like, within recent, let's say within the last 2 to 3 years, the only full black on black sets we've made were for Jessica Havoc and for Player Uno.
Andrew Gulak.
And Drew Gulak, yeah. Those sets of gear were for people that, were already kind of acquaintant or friendly with us,
Yeah.
whether they've gotten gear or I knew them personally. And their black on black were textured and had real cool design elements to it. It wasn't just, here's some straight black, gear. No, I want to be in air-conditioned buildings at all times. I never want to wrestle outside. It is the worst. I hate it so much. It's just little things. I mean, it could be any combination of things. Sometimes you're on a show and the mat has been under the sun all day. So if you're on the second half of the show and, like, the sun's been beating down on the mat, it's just, you feel like you're burning yourself every time you take a bump. Which is terrible. And of course, like, I've wrestled in the rain. Lucha Freddy mentioned it a little earlier. I've wrestled in the straight up rain to finish a match. Like, we were in the main event, one of the only matches left to go. So, we had it. And that's not the first time I've done that either, but that was the most recent time that's happened. That's obviously no fun because of the injury aspect of getting hurt slipping in the rain and stuff. Yeah,
Walt.
Walter, yeah.
We actually make very few things for local clients. The majority of our business is for people that we don't live near. It's only in recent years that we've started having people locally in our home. Actually, pretty much all of our business has gotten online. Like we don't have it's not like we're like located somewhere and people can only reach us there. We just do everything through the internet. We have people measure themselves.
Yeah, if you're getting stuff from like a gymnastics maker, it's going to be the same style. Like the leotards are going to be pretty close to the same.
Yeah, very similar. As someone who has made both of those things.
Yeah. You might get some other elements, like maybe something with sublimation or with heat press from a gymnastics person because they're...
they have access to that stuff?
Yeah. But outside of that, yeah, the actual construction would be pretty much what we would make ourselves. My favorite ICP songs.
God.
Homies,
Why is there so much new metal in my life?
a song from the Backyard Wrestling video game. Homies, homies, something, something, my thugs of love. I don't know. I can't remember the lyrics off the top of my head. And the one that goes, check it, please, thanks. Walk through the door into the Hall of Illusions. Visit yours. That one, Hall of Illusions. And see what could have and should have and would have been real, but you had to fuck up the whole deal. Very creative lyrics. We're talking like A+ wordplay there, babe. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard the words they were played.
How's life been in the new house? Now that you had some time to get used to it. It's definitely taken a lot of getting used to it. I don't think we're still fully there yet. I mean, I know we're not still fully there yet. We're still kind of confused in the size of our house. Not that we get lost in it, but you know, we kind of get turned around. It is a larger house than we've ever lived in. The space is very nice. Working in this room is very easy. And is just physically easier. Like it is less strenuous on our bodies because we're so spread out and we can move in ways we couldn't move in our tiny, 10 by 12 room at our old apartment. So that's real cool. And it's also, I guess, kind of nice being able to go out in the backyard and hang out sometimes and like actually have nature in front of us and around us. Where in Philly, if we walked outside, we'd get hit with the smell of, piss and poop from the alley where all the, the homeless used as a toilet. And then, of course, there's just the natural trash smell that would come from living next to an alley. I was saying this to Kate when we first moved out here, and she didn't notice it at first, but then after a few weeks, she's like, oh man, you were totally right. Is how brighter everything is living in Lancaster. How because of the lack of pollution and the smog, there not being any real smog out here and stuff, just outside just looks different. And I haven't really lived in an area outside of a city in most of my entire life. Yeah, I've done traveling, like I've lived in places for like a month or two, but everything just feels different out here. The air quality's nicer. The sun is nicer out here. The temperature feels different out here a little bit.
Have a good night. Probably missed you. You're probably already gone, but.
Whew. Lucha Freddy, you're more than welcome to send us an email, but right now we are swamped with the amount of work because of all the shows coming. You know, America's decided that we're open again, I guess. So, wrestling is
over, everybody.
yeah. Wrestling has messaged us. The concept of wrestling has messaged us and said, "Hey, we've got work for you."
I understand that you might have things that you're doing, but wrestling wants to wrestle, and we can't do wrestling without our sparkly underwear, goblins, so get to it. That's what the email inbox says. It says, hey, you're the person I know that does this shit. Can you please help me?
Well, I think that's it for us today, Kate.
Sounds like a good stopping point to me.
Yeah, you come over here to the camera.
Yeah, hold on. I actually finished this kick pad pattern.
It is a pretty simple kick pad pattern.
Yeah.
It's the simplest thing on that gear.
True dat.
I'll turn it up a little bit. Boom.
Boom.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We were streaming today to test our cameras. Let's do it one more time. Let's do one more test. Wave your hand under that table. The camera did not freeze. We know this camera's not freezing. We know the other one's not freezing. What about this one? Not freezing. You're moving. Bam. Everything seems to work. Everything seems to work just fine, which is awesome.
Yeah.
None of the cameras are freezing. That means we'll be able to move forward with our new setup. Thanks for all those hanging out today, for helping us get to affiliate. And
hopefully next time you see us, we'll be able to have emotes and such.
yeah.
And subscribers.
Emotes and such.
And such.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.